Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another episode of You Need This here on b8ta TV. I'm your host, Noelle, coming to you live today from San Francisco. And today we've got something a little bit different from you guys. For you guys, we're actually going to be joined by the owner of Ikepod watches himself, Mr. Christian-Louis Col. He's here to tell us all about the brand and what his personal story has been like as the owner of the company. Now, the brand has been around for over 25 years, but when Christian-Louis bought the company back in 2017, it had been inactive for 6 years. So he's going to tell us all about the latest and greatest announcements from Ikepod. Let's bring him in now. Joining us live from Geneva, Switzerland is Christian-Louis Col. Good morning, or should I say good evening, Christian-Louis?
Oh, it's up to you. Good morning, and yes, good evening from Geneva. It's 8 p.m.
8 p.m. Well, thank you so much for joining us today on b8ta.com. I'm so excited to have you here. And to start things off, I just would love to know, have you always been a watch lover?
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Since I am 15, 17, I am mad about watches. Some guys are mad about cars, guns. For me, it's watches. So definitely, I am a watch lover since I am 15, 17.
Wow. And about how many watches would you say are in your personal collection?
Too much, too much, too much watches. The fact is that, you know, when you are young, you want to have many, and when you start to collect watches, then you stick on the iconic watches, some iconic watches that are making the watchmaking industry. And so yeah, important watches, I would say maybe 10, 15, but I have many more watches which are not considered as important, but for me they are, because each watch is a memory, and it's very important for me.
And speaking of memories, was there someone in your life that inspired your love of watches?
Yeah, my father, because he had a small collection of pocket watches and some Breguet in that collection, and he was wearing also some Rolex, some Patek. But I began my collection and my love for the watches with plastic watches, because my father began to collect the plastic watches, and I was looking at him like if he was very weird. But I understood it was 83, 84, he was collecting the first swatch, the plastic watches, and he told me one day they will cost a lot, and he was right. So yeah. It was my father.
And have you been a lover of the Ikepod brand for as long?
Oh yeah, when Ikepod launched the first watches in '94, it was like a blast in the watchmaking industry. But because at this moment, the many watches were around 36, 37 millimeters with and they were quite small. Nowadays, the 36 millimeters are worn by ladies, and the fact is that there were no big watches on the market, and definitely Ikepod came with a new concept. He was launching the watches without lugs, without horns. You know, the two piece of metal where you can put the strap on, and definitely it was like a blast, and everybody was looking. Oh, it's a concept watch. They were saying that in reference to the concept cars. And yeah, for sure, when I saw that, it was just, amazing to see these watches.
Yes. The Ikepod watch, I feel like, was, iconic right out of the gate, like you said, in 1994. So then we fast forward to 2017. What inspired your decision to buy the company?
Oh, the company did very well during 20 years, from 94 to 2012, and the company was asleep, and it was before in the best shop in the world. So when you were traveling, when you were going to the Hourglass in Singapore, to collect the concept shops in Paris, when we were going to Chronopassion, where every good shop in the world had Ikepod. So I didn't want the brand to disappear. And as I was in contact with the owner, then I start a conversation with them like many other people. But I start a conversation with them because I thought it was yes like a nightmare that the brand could disappear.
Absolutely. And Mark Newson, the famed industrial designer, is the co-founder of Ikepod. Was there in 1994 when the brand got started and was really instrumental in the design process. Now Mark is no longer a part of the company. So what was it like for you, picking up where he left off? What was important for you to accomplish in the redesign and the rebranding of Ikepod?
Oh, it's not easy because maybe the Rolls, Mr. Rolls and Mr. Royce are no longer here, but the brand is still alive and it's maybe different than 100 years ago. So it's the same for Bugatti cars. It's the same for a lot of brands, and yeah, it's an honor to continue the brand because I am an Ikepod fan and I'm an Ikepod lover. So maybe I'm one of the biggest fan of the brand. So yeah, definitely it's an honor to continue. And but also it's complex because you have to be up to the standard of the brand, but the DNA is still there. And as I was in the watchmaking industry before, it's quite easy to continue because a lot of designers are happy to work for Ikepod, and many designers are happy to continue and to covet the DNA of the brand.
Now on the website, I noticed a motto. It is same design, new price. Tell me what that means.
Oh, that means that in 94 and after in 97, when the round shape, the UFO shape was out, and after in 2006, 2008, when the brand was relaunched, the price of Ikepod have always been very high. If I can speak about, for example, a good example, everybody knows Rolex, and at all stage of its history, Ikepod has been more expensive than Rolex. So yeah, same design because we are keeping the DNA of the brand with the UFO shape, but new prices because now we are making them affordable. Because to be very honest with you, when back in the past I was not able to buy an Ikepod, I was buying other watches before, other iconic before, because yeah, it was twice the price of some iconic watches, so a bit expensive. So the idea is to make the brand more affordable and then to make it discover to new people, to young people, because the people under 40 years old, they don't know Ikepod. And yeah, it's very important to keep the DNA, keep the quality, but making it affordable.
And on the Ikepod website, I noticed that you have some of the vintage watches featured, and the price point is as high as 40 grand. So how does that compare to the price point now?
Oh, the fact is that the watches before, they were from the generation 2, they were from $12,000 to $50,000. But also because there were some collaboration with Cows, Koons, Jeff Koons, yeah, so big artists. But also because the volume were very few, and the will of the owner were to sell something very, very expensive. Also because before the watches were assembled by the top, they were sold by a designer and not by a watchmaker. So for us, it was more easy to simplify the technicity of the watch, the construction of the watch, and no more assembling them by the top, simplifying them a bit, but keeping the DNA of the brand. And yes, they were quite expensive, 10 times, 20 times more expensive. But it was due to the conception and also to the will of the owner at this stage, because during 15 years, it was a good business. You were able to sell a lot of watches to watch lovers.
And speaking of watch lovers, I feel like I'm becoming more of a watch enthusiast myself. So what would your expert advice be to someone like me who's, learning more about watches? When I'm out watch shopping, what should I be looking for? What makes a great quality watch?
Oh, I should suggest that the first thing is that you like the watch, the look and the shape of the watch, and you have to fall in love with the design of the watch, because Many watches have the same design, the same functionality, but you should just like what you see. And after, if you want to look at the quality, so some things have to be respected. And in the watch business, it's all about choosing the right parts and checking the details and assembling good parts all together, and not paying the marketing and not paying too much the endorsement and the celebrities. And you have to take a loop, a 10-time loop, and you have to look at the watch in details, and then you will see if the hands are correctly done, if the dial is an exquisite dial, if it's full of details. And then you should compare, and then you will see if it's something of quality. And the last thing is that a watch should be comfortable on the wrist, so not too big for you, not uncomfortable for you. You have to check that, because you will wear it all day, and this is the most important. So it's a mix of what you like, the design, the qualities that you can check with a loop, not with your eyes, and then after with definitely the comfort you have on the wrist. This is the most important.
Well, and our viewers can go into our b8ta stores and very safely, check out the Ikepod watches that we have on b8ta.com and try them on, like you're saying, get a feel for the comfortability, how it looks, the weight of it. But you have the 3 models there with you. So can we see the duopod and the chronopod and the megapod Ikepod watches?
Yeah, for sure. So when we relaunched the brand in 2018, it was on Kickstarter. Because we are a startup, and so we don't have millions or big backup. So we went to Kickstarter, and first of all we launched 2 models that are named Duopod and Chronopod. So these 2 models, the dials were designed by Emmanuel Gate, and so Emmanuel Gate is the guy who designed the Royal Oak offshore. And as you can see, I told you that this is a UFO shape. So definitely the watch looks like that, an UFO shape. And there are no lugs. I mean, there are no bars to attach the strap. So these are Duopod and Chronopod. They are run by batteries. And for b8ta, which shows the bleu roi, the blue dials, which are in the watchmaking, they are classics. You have a dial. It could be white, it could be gray, but the most exquisite and the most classy, they are blue. Patek Philippe is doing a lot of blue, etc. And the third model is the Megapod, and this is an automatic watch. And definitely here you can see the rotor and the logo on it, so you can see the watch living. And then it's an automatic watch with a 42 hours of power reserve. So when you drop it, you can come back and have this reserve of 42 hours. Sorry. And then about the size, the Duopod is 42 millimeters. The Chronopod, the chronograph, is 44 millimeters, and the Megapod is 46. But in fact, the Duopod, let's say, it's for small wrists and for ladies. The Chronopod it's most for men, and definitely the Megapod is for men because it's a 46. But 46 millimeter do not mean that they are big, because they don't have lugs, and they are very comfortable on the wrist because they are rounded. And when they are on the wrist, they are really, really comfortable, really comfortable. So we created for you these 3 models represent the range, because the Megapod was launched this year again on Kickstarter. This year, in 2020, during the lockdown, and we already have 30 points of sales in Japan. We are on the web, and definitely we choose for you the best seller. We chose for you the best seller.
Yeah, I was in our Hayes Valley location just yesterday, actually, and was, feeling the watches, trying them on. They're incredibly comfortable. It is so unique that, like you were saying, they don't have the lugs. So I think this is a watch that is definitely a head turner because of that. So many people are going to be coming up to you asking, what kind of a watch is that? Because it's so different. And I just want to talk about longevity because, like you said, your father inspired your love of watches. I'm sure he had his own personal collection, and maybe you've inherited some of those pieces. So tell me about the materials that go into the Ikepod watches and how they're designed with the next generation in mind.
So the most important is yes, to have good components, and one good component is a steel, because if you use steel, you should use chirurgical steel. It's 316L. This is very good quality of the steel. This is very important because it's anti-allergic. It's very something very important that you. It's like the tool for the chirurgy. So you have this steel. This is very important. The quality of the dials, the quality of the hand. And you cannot find all that in the same place, because the one who is doing the case is not doing the hand, who is not doing the dial, and also the strap. The strap are in silicone. It's also good for everything, for the allergy. It's really supple. It's something very very interesting, and it's also in the DNA of the brand. Originally, they were in silicone too, and the quality is, yeah. We really think that for the next generation, it's very important to do something qualitative that will last for years, that you can resell or you can give away to a friend or to. And we have a motto in Ikepod. We say all the value is inside. So definitely we say we want to do something different. If I come back to which watch I should choose, you should choose something different, because all watch looks the same, and maybe, for me, it's my opinion that you should look for something different, and Ikepod is something different. And for the next generation, we really think that it's better to have this kind of box. It's a very light box, something in cardboard, and then it's all recycled. So the experience of unboxing, it's not like you are unboxing a watch with a big box made of petrol and made of something that you will waste, and which is not very ecologic, and not organic. And this is recycled car box, and we are proud of that, because this is something for the next generation. You can get rid of it, and then you have more space for your sneakers in the in the shelves. And definitely, it's a mix. We put the money in the watch. It's value for money, and not in the box. So, okay, again, this is what we think for keeping good components, not putting big multiplicators and on the factory price, and then giving a good experience to people, because the vast majority of our customers, you already have iconic watches, because Ikepod is part of the iconic watches of the market. When you have already an Omega, a Tag Heuer, a Rolex, a Jaeger-LeCoultre, then you can take a risk and buy an Ikepod. Take a risk in terms of look, not in terms of quality. But the vast majority of the time, the people are really surprised by the quality, not only the quality perceived, but the really quality of the watch, of the component. And sometimes you're surprised of having this watch at around $1,000 and for such a quality. So it's something that we are proud of. It's to giving reliability and quality for the price.
Yes, and speaking of sneakers, I know you're a big sneaker lover yourself. And back in February of 2020, we saw a picture of Kanye West wearing a vintage Ikepod watch at the Vanity Fair Oscars after party. So, tell me about that. What the public's reaction was like to seeing that photo.
Yes, Noelle. To put you in the picture, to be very honest, I was not very aware about Mr. West because yes, I saw him one day in a clip with a Daft Punk, and and I was not very aware about it. Was very very famous, but on Instagram there was like a little buzz just after the after party of the Oscar, and then I saw on the web that some watch geek say, oh, Mr. West was wearing an Ikepod. So I look at that and I was quite surprised but happy because it was in the watchmaking Instagram world, like a small buzz. Some people who are specialized in that, seeing what is on the wrist of the people, they spotted the Ikepod. Mm-hmm. And after we were contacted by GQ under embargo, and we did not really understand why they were asking an embargo, but we say, okay, GQ US. And they were showing us a very bad quality of a picture. It seems to have been a shooting. And then they show us a watch on the wrist of someone, which was kind of classy and very elegant. And they say, is it an Ikepod? Can you confirm this is an Ikepod? I say, yes, this is an Ikepod, and I think this is the Ikepod of Mr. West. And they say, oh, you don't have to say that because this is under embargo, but do you confirm this is an Ikepod? Oh, for sure, this is an Ikepod. And I just realized a month after, because he didn't share the picture, that Mr. West in Wyoming, in his ranch, was wearing the Ikepod because this is his favorite watch since for years now, since a lot of time. And he was wearing the Ikepod during the shooting because he was not the guy who was doing the complete artistic direction, but he wanted to keep his Ikepod on the wrist. And then to reply to your question, it was like a blast again, and the people were, it was mad because we received a bunch of emails. People were wanting this vintage watch, which was around at this time 25,000 US dollar. And the people were totally amazed and excited about that. They definitely wanted the same watch. And so it was quite funny because I was in contact with Steven Smith, but not making the connection between Steven Smith, who is the artistic director of Kanye West. And we the same day we earn 1,000 followers on Instagram, but the same day we lost 500 followers. People were saying, oh, we leave you. We don't want to endorse these people. I don't want him to endorse Ikepod. And it was funny because we were a bit shocked. But on the other side, we earn a lot of new fans. So it was about hate and love. Like for Ikepod, you hate it or you love it. You cannot be. You hate it or you love it. So it was the same with Kanye West, but 15 days, really, really complex.
Yeah, well, and that picture, I mean, of the GQ cover, again, for our viewers, it's March 2020 GQ with Kanye West. And I mean, the watch it's unmistakable. It's gorgeous. It's a gold vintage Ikepod watch, and it's his personal watch. Is that right?
Yeah. So, and he has a lot of watches. Mm-hmm. Some watches are full of diamond, and I cannot say even the value. It's more than a full house. And but his favorite is the Ikepod. So we are blessed with that. We are so happy. So it's fantastic.
Certainly. Well, and he is, such a fashion icon for so many people. So what a big moment for Ikepod. And speaking of big moments, I mean, as the owner of the company, what has been your proudest moment thus far?
One of the proudest moments was maybe because I am as you told, I am a sneaker lover. So and to one day receive an order from Steven Smith, who is the artistic director of Yeezy, but on the top of all, he's a designer of, for me, he's maybe one of the best of the sneaker design in the world. He's the godfather of the dad shoes. I am 52, so I am wearing dad shoes. So I am proud that he's wearing an Ikepod, a contemporary Ikepod. He's wearing a Megapod with an orange strap. But yeah, what I am the most proud of is when I went to New York in 2018 to present the watch to Hodinkee. And they were a bit surprised because Christian-Louis Col was not known only in the watch industry, but not it's not a big name. And I came to Hodinkee with my watches to present them. And I met Stefan Pulvirent, who is an editor at Hodinkee. And because you have to know that Hodinkee in the watch industry it's just amazing what they achieved in some years, and they are the reference. They are totally the reference of the market, and print and not print and web, etc. They are the best. And definitely, I leave the watch to Mr. Pulvirent, and the day after, when I came back to pick them, he said, "Oh, how do you do? How do you do this quality at this price?" And say, "Okay, I am fine." And he wrote in his article that he saw a lot of watch. He see a lot of watch during the year, but he never saw watches like that for the quality for the price. And I quote him. He say, "I saw watches 5 times more expensive, not made as half as this Ikepod." For the duopod and the chronopod. So I was very proud of that because, in fact, all the process of relaunching the brand, all the process of bringing back Ikepod on the market was with a big pressure not to deceive the previous owner, not to have a betrayal on the quality, on the DNA of the brand. And I was happy because, again, Hodinkee is a big reference. So yes. Mm-hmm. I am a bit proud of that. It's like a kid. Sorry.
Well, we're certainly honored here at b8ta to partner with Ikepod and to have, a watch that's so beautifully designed but also affordably priced available to our b8ta community. Tell me why you chose b8ta to roll out, to relaunch Ikepod on the US market through the b8ta platform.
First of all, because since the beginning, Ikepod had been in the concept stores. So the concept stores, 25 years ago, there were no concept stores. There were shops where you could shop shoes and jewelry, watches, but not a mix, not the quintessence of that, not a curated offer of that. And there was in Italy, it was Corso Como, but in France, it was Colette. And then you were going to Colette, you were queuing out of Colette to discover the new trend, the new tendency. And Ikepod was a very good seller at Colette. You were one of the best watch brands. And maybe there were only 10 to 12 watch brands and 1 or 2 watch of each brand. So a curated offer, a selection. So it was the concept store. So 25 years ago, there were no concept store, only Corso Como. Only one maybe in Hong Kong and one in France. It was Colette. So definitely, at the moment, when I look at b8ta, I see a beautiful concept store, and I look at the brand in it. For example, when I look at Devialet, which is a French brand doing fantastic speakers, I am really proud to be there, to be curated, selected in this concept store. So it's back to the roots of Ikepod, to be featured in a fantastic concept store with people and also with a new way of doing the demo, a new way of presenting the product, very cool, modern. And it's really something that is missing all around the world. So that's why I wanted to be present at b8ta and to reintroduce the Ikepod brand with b8ta, because for me, it's something that, we need that in Europe. We hope you will come in Europe. So it's really important for us to have such boutique like that. So proud of it too.
Well, the feeling is mutual. We are very proud to offer our b8ta community the Ikepod, Duopod, Chronopod, and Megapod, both on b8ta.com and in our b8ta locations across the country. Christian-Louis Col, thank you so much for joining me today. It was wonderful speaking with you and learning more about Ikepod. The brand is in very good hands, sir, so we thank you so much for being here with us.
Noelle, merci beaucoup. C'était super de discuter avec vous ce soir. Merci. And so thank you very much. And sorry for my French accent. And thanks again to b8ta.
No, thank you, merci. And to all of our viewers, thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to have another live product feature tomorrow at 10 a.m. from b8ta.com. And we're just so grateful to you tuning in. Thank you for joining me, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.